So you want to scale a business or start a business in 2025. So here's some of the tips that I think are super important. So a lot of people, like, the last few years have either got into something or maybe become an expert or learned something. I think it's really important not just to try to come up with any idea. You can make some money that way. You find an idea. You should do that a lot in entrepreneurship. Like, how can I make money? What can I do? Maybe, drop ship something they don't care about. There's definitely businesses out there that can do that. But I think if you want to be more like fulfilled and create something of real value, like, one, I would think about the future. So, like, how are things evolving in the space? What are certain things that are going to be AI proof or have AI resistance? Coaching, real life experiences, community, stuff like that is stuff that's going to take a while for AI to kind of replicate. Aside from all of that, what's most important is, like, what is the value that you're actually going to create for someone? Like, what is the thing that's going to help them solve their problem, feel better, make a change in their life, get that outcome they desire? When you're thinking of a product or an e-product or something to serve, it's like, how do you differentiate yourself and how do you communicate to them in a way that they can understand what you have to give? Last year I was focusing so much on like how do I market better? How do I grow visibility and all this stuff? And I kind of missed sight of, like, how do I make a better product? How do I really dive in and create that thing that changes people's lives, that they can't live without, or that they're so grateful for they want to tell everyone about? And make that your message and your marketing message. And if you're not sure, the best way, before we create this crazy website and put all these details into it and the things that we think in our mind, it's like, test it. Get a test group, test product, share with people. If it's an experience, do a small group. If it's a workshop or a course, do it live over a few weeks, or a live workshop. Get the feedback, see what they actually want. Because a lot of times the things we think that people are going to want and need are not exactly that. So there's a lot of great ideas don't end up being great businesses because we haven't really tested them out. We haven't really got people to try it, gotten the feedback, seeing where the actual need is. And so when people ask me, like, should I create like a library of all my content and just put it out for online? Yeah, you can do that, but if you don't have a huge following, it's probably not going to sell. And even if you have a huge following and the content is crap, it's probably not going to sell and last. You might get a few sales. But to create something that has longevity is, like, you have to focus on the outcome of the product. Like, what is the value it gives? How does it make people feel? Does it feel empowered? Are you teaching them something that can actually make change in their life? Or teaching them something that they can use to create money and change in others? And once you've got that dialed in, the growth will become organic and natural. And it's so much easier to kind of grow than trying to force it. So we don't want to force things anymore, but we want to put a lot of intention. And so we got to think about, why am I actually doing this? Are you doing it to try to make money? Are you doing it because you want to help people? You want to solve a problem? You want to contribute more? Maybe you've made a lot of money. You want to do something different. You're gonna have to bootstrap it as you're starting as like a founder. And the easiest way is, like, do the simplest test first. See how it feels for you. See what the feedback is and tweak it. Once you've got something really good, a program or a product, you can bundle it up and sell it as something that will give someone a specific outcome. That's the stage one. Then the stage two is growth and scaling. Like, what are the steps to kind of get bigger and to grow and to add a team, and who do I bring in first and all that kind of stuff. And it's different for every business. But as a founder, I'd say, the first help you're going to want to need, one, is bringing in someone who has complementary skills to you. So if you're good at certain things, but you're really bad at others, don't try to do the things you're not good at, because it's going to suck up 3 times the amount of energy than doing the things that you're good at, that you have energy for, that you're excited about. When we force ourselves to do that, there's going to be a little bit of that discipline in the beginning, but as soon as you're ready, offload those to, like, an assistant, someone part-time. If you're unorganized but you're creative, get someone to do all the organization for you. Just hire that assistant, project manager, someone who can pull that off your plate. So that's going to be really important as that first step. So who's that first hire? Someone who's going to complement the things that you don't do really well. Bring those people in as your team. If you're not good at editing content, you might want to outsource it to an agency. But once you have the product and you start to grow, you start taking away some of the daily tasks that are monotonous and repetitive, and you start focusing on things that are more strategic, less like tactical, more strategic and growth. That's where you're gonna see the growth going, whether it's creating new relationships and partnerships, speaking more authentically on social media about what you're offering, will really help you to kind of take that next stage in growth. So take it one step at a time, build a foundation, get the test product out, make sure people love it, refine it a little bit, test it a few times first. Then as you start getting some sales and having a clear message, get someone to take away all the tasks that you don't love doing and focus more on that strategy and more creation, just creating things that people are going to completely love. And for me, that's the best way to start. And there's other stages from there, but we'll start with that. So if you got an idea in 2025, Well, what's your intention? What do you want to be a year from now? Start creating that vision as you're working on it. What are you aiming for? Getting clear. There's another manifesting video I have, but it's important. Like, how do I see this product being served in a year from now? Visualizing all the people that it's helping and really making a difference and impact in the world. And that's the best advice I can give to people, from starting multiple businesses, having multiple failures or learning experiences, but having some that I've done really well with. You know, it was like the ones that were well thought out, had a lot of intention, and really focused on the value that it gives, are the ones that lasted the longest. Okay, hope that helps.